One got knocked down, he won't get up again. The other went and knocked him down. One got knocked down, and now he's fucking dead. The other went and knocked him out. Combo breaker!
The hero, the good guy. Really, they're just awesome. Especially some of my favorite heroes, which are today's fighters. That's right, we have Link, the hero of Hyrule, and Son Goku, the Super Saiyan. But that match isn't fair in the slightest, so let's go ahead and rewind them and have them fight to the death when they were children. That's right, we have an epic matchup between Kid Goku and young Link. Kid Goku. Personally, I love playing as Kid Goku in the video games, because he was always more focused on the martial arts and less on the ki blasting. Now don't get me wrong, ki blast and Dragon Ball Z and all that, that's pretty badass and super cool. But in the video games, it's more fun to be up close and personal with your fists, and that's what Kid Goku is all about. So, on to his powers. Obviously, he can manipulate his ki for his signature attack, the Kamehameha. It's a blue ki wave that can do quite a bit of destruction, actually. However, since he is a kid and this is back then, it does take a while for him to charge up before he can fire it compared to when he's an adult. He also has enhanced senses and can locate others by sensing their ki, and he's actually broken the fourth wall a few times. He can move quick enough to create after images, and his solar flare creates a flash of light to blind foes. Now, Goku actually has a few items in his arsenal. He wields the Power Pole, a staff that can't break and extends infinitely. He also has the Flying Nimbus if he ever needs to fly around. Basically, it's a yellow cloud that only he can ride. This allows him to fly through the air. Goku's strong enough to destroy a car, shatter boulders, beat Yamcha, and he's able to even beat General Blue, as well as fight Mercenary Tao, and even Tien. Not to mention, he was able to match and beat King Piccolo, plus he surpassed Master Roshi, who can destroy the frickin' moon. Goku can hit a pterodactyl out of the sky, he can run 100 meters in 5 seconds, and he's dodged lightning before. Not to mention, he's kept up with King Piccolo in combat, and he can move so fast that he actually disappears and becomes invisible. He's endured beatings from Tien, Mercenary Tao, and even King Piccolo, and even full power Kamehameha from Master Roshi barely did anything to him. Now, while Goku does lack standard intelligence, he's actually a prodigy and is a very capable fighter, and he's able to keep up with some of the world's best martial artists with ease. Young Link, my main in Melee and in Hyrule Warriors, and honestly, my #1 pick for the next character to be revealed in Smash 5. That's all I want. Come on, Nintendo, don't do this to me. Just let me have Young Link in Smash 5. You know, it's worthless asking in this video. They probably don't watch it. So let's move right into his weapons and powers. Young Link wields a wide array of weapons, and a mask that grants him epic powers. With the Stone Mask, Link can turn invisible. And he can also control undead beings with the Captain Mask. He can read minds with the Mask of Truth, and he can create statues of himself. And with the Lens of Truth, he can view invisible creatures. He can also grow in immense size with the Giant Mask. Now, Link wields actually the Fairy Sword, as well as a two-handed Kokoriko Sword. Can't speak today. He also has the Ocarina of Time, some bombs, a bow with normal arrows, fire arrows, ice arrows, and light arrows, as well as a mirror shield that can deflect projectiles. He also wields some Deku Sticks, a hook shot useful for grappling around or bringing enemies to him, several masks, but I'll go ahead and cover the 4 important ones right now. He's got the Deku Mask, which pretty much makes him into a Deku Sprout, giving him temporary flight and explosive bubble shots. He has the Zoro Mask that allows him to electrocute foes, slash at him with his fins, and even breathe underwater. And he's got the Goron Mask that turns him into a Goron that allows him to roll at high speeds and increase his strength tremendously. However, he is rather slow in this form. But by far, his best mask is the Fierce Deity Mask. This turns Link into a god, removing all of his equipment and changing out his sword for the Helix Sword. That when it's slashed, it actually launches out energy slash blast attack things. He can also, but now let's go ahead and talk about the Ocarina of Time. It's got quite a few spells, but we're going to talk about the one important one, the Song of Time. This will allow him to slow, rewind, and fast forward through time. Young Link is capable of overpowering dungeon bosses who have energy putouts that can shatter islands, and at their max power. And in Hyrule Warriors, he's capable of cutting the moon in half. With one slash, he can overpower Majora. With one slash, he can cut through the moon, and he's overpowered Majora, who can create stars and summon moons that can destroy planets. He's quick enough to beat foes who can dodge point-blank arrows of light, and he can dodge beams from Beamos, and he's even kept up with Majora in combat. He's taken hits from the likes of Got and Gorg. He can also put out enough force to destroy an island, and he's survived attacks. Who can put out enough force to destroy islands, and he survived attacks from the unrestrained Majora. He's able to instantly learn how to use any new item. He can solve complicated puzzles on the spot, and he's also able to adapt extremely well to his new body when he transforms via using the mask. And on top of all this, Link is a seasoned adventurer thanks to all the experience he has from Ocarina of Time under his belt. but unfortunately he's not perfect. You see, young Link's ocarina does take a while to play the songs. That means his time travel isn't exactly reliant. Goku is walking through the woods as an arrow flies at him. Goku dodges and looks over to see Link standing there as he draws out his sword and shield. Goku rushes forward and tries to elbow Link, who blocks with his shield and retaliates with an overhead slash. Goku barely dashes back and grabs his power pole. Link throws a bomb at Goku, but his body vanishes into smoke as the bomb goes off. Link pulls out the lens of truth and looks around. Link then puts on his Goron mask, transforms, and punches into the air and hits Goku in the gut. Goku flies back from the force. Goku then lands and slides back as Link rushes forward and spins his sword. Goku then blocks with his power pole. He then puts his hands out over his head and does a flash of light blinding Link. He then jumps up and slams his power pole down on Link and follows up with a sucker punch. He then puts his hands together and starts charging up a Kamehameha. Link regains his vision as Goku fires his Kamehameha. Link barely is able to put up his shield, but it reflects the blast at Goku. Goku barely dodges as it burns his leg just a little bit. Link then fires a flurry of ice arrows and fire arrows at Goku. One of them hits Goku in the arm and burns him severely. Goku then pulls the arrow out of him, and Link rushes forward and slashes at Goku, who blocks with his power pole. Goku sucker punches Link and headbutts him, but then Link slides back and starts to breathe heavily. Goku hops into the trees and Link looks around as Goku hops off a branch and dive kicks at him. But Link dodges and does a diagonal spin slash, launching himself into the air. Goku jumps back and fires a Kamehameha at Link, hitting him into a tree, causing dust and smoke to surround Link. Link reaches for a mask and puts it on. As the dust clears, it reveals Link is now in his fierce deity form. Goku, still bleeding from his previous wounds, looks at Link. He calls the flying Nimbus and tries to fly away, but Link jumps up and slashes at Goku, who hops back and reaches for his power pole. But an energy slash hits his hand, from young Link hits his hand, launching the power pole from his hands. Link then rushes forward and slashes his sword diagonally downwards, splitting Goku clean in half. Link removes his mask and sits down and takes a breath. Our winner is young Link, and damn, this match was nowhere near as close as I was expecting. I honestly thought Kid Goku would win with a slight strength and durability edge and overall skill edge, but my research proved me otherwise, so allow me to go by their stats and explain what happened. So stat-wise, this fight is actually really unfair. You see, Link, thanks to his fights with the dungeon bosses and an unrestrained Majora, can scale up to moon or planet, possibly even star level, thanks to the fact that Majora can summon moons that destroy the planet, and Link can cut that moon in half. Plus, Majora's created stars before, and Link can beat him. Now, we also have to keep in mind that Majora is able to reach sub-relativistic speeds, and if Link's able to match him and fight him, we can scale him right up to that sub-relativistic speed. This far trumps any of Goku's levels. Goku is moon level in strength through scaling to Roshi, who blew up the moon. He's also only high hypersonic with dodging lightning and moving so fast he can vanish. So with obvious stat advantages for young Link, it's pretty obvious how he claims victory, but let's go ahead and look at the other reasons. So let's talk equipment. While weapons don't necessarily guarantee a win, they can heavily shift the odds. So Kid Goku has the power pole. It's an unbreakable, ever-extending staff, and he has the flying Nimbus that gives him flight. Plus he has his Kamehameha and solar flare, so he's got a range advantage, a mobility advantage, and an unbreakable weapon. His range is quickly outmatched by all of Link's projectiles, however. Now, Link also has a much larger and much more useful arsenal, including a sword, a two-handed sword, and the mirror shield that can reflect attacks, as well as his arrows and bombs, which can allow with the zoning, and countless other powers, plus his Ocarina of Time that can rewind time. Now, Link in his Fierce Deity's form also gains energy blasts from his sword, giving him more projectiles. Now we also have to cover the sword, because a lot of people will probably bring up the idea, if Goku can be shot by bullets and is completely unaffected, why would his sword do anything? Well, let's look at a few instances. For one, when he fought Yamcha, he used the power pole to block the sword. He didn't try and dodge it, and he didn't block with his hands, so clearly the sword posed some sort of threat. And we know Goku was stronger than Yamcha, or at least on the same level. Then if we look further into Dragon Ball Z, we can see that Trunks was able to kill Mecha Frieza with the sword and a few slashes, but when King Cold tried to use the sword on Trunks, it didn't work. So someone who's stronger than him and is wielding a sword could easily kill him with it. So we know that swords work against the weaker foes, and we know young Link is faster and stronger and more durable than Kid Goku. So all Kid Goku can really do is delay the inevitable. Our winner is young Link. Next time on Combo Breaker, we've got two of Nintendo's best tyrants clashing a match to the death. That's right, next time we have King DDD versus King K. Rool. First of all, let me thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this to any friends you know who like versus debates. And, tell me what you think of the next match. Give me your predictions, maybe suggest matches in the comments, and they might happen.